Every racing driver sees himself as an athlete, if that is a recent uh, way to look to the profession, or what are your thoughts about that? Because I just, sorry, just to be a bit longer here, but I had the feeling before a couple of years ago when you see some vintage videos, it just looked that the guys came there with some glasses and they just sit in the car and it was a bit out of flair and
Yeah.
coolness, you know?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. But that's why, like, those guys definitely they were not working out and they were smoking
Right,
and
right.
drinking and this and
Mm-hmm.
that. But they were also within a 2 hour race, their performance would drop like this, you know.
Right,
But because they were all doing it, it didn't matter until the
right.
first guy came and started to work out, and he could start fifth or sixth, and these guys would do this, and he would keep the performance up there,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then when one guy brings it, then everyone starts doing it. So obviously now the level is super high. And it's funny you asked that, and you know, I had dinner with Renato Sanchez, the football player. He's
Yeah,
now
yeah, yeah.
in Lille, I think, or
Yes,
Marseille.
in Lille, yeah.
When he was playing for Bayern, and I was spending a lot of time in Munich, I had
Oh,
dinner
yeah.
with him, and I had dinner with him. I was like, no, my training, and he was like, training? What are you talking about, man? You guys just sit in the car and steer. And you know, then I could understand, like, these guys have no idea, because
Right.
for football players, yeah, I understand they have to train every day and they have to run for miles every game at a super high intensity rhythm. But for us, it's a different kind of training, but it's also because the steering wheel is very heavy.
Right.
There's a lot of things happening super fast, so your brain is tired, your muscles are tired, and you need to combine those two. You know, when you're tired physically, automatically your brain performance goes down. So you need to train your physical state to the point where you don't get tired. And then when you're at that level, you need to start training your brain to work at a higher speed and process things a lot quicker. So obviously, it's really fun the way we train, because we do a lot of cardio, we do a lot of strength. Obviously, we only get strong enough to the point that we need it. Otherwise, it's body weight that we don't want.
Yeah.
And then we do a lot of fun exercises with coordination things and stuff, and concentration while getting tired. So it's a different way of getting fit, but yeah, and it's super important. And also because the problem is we go at super high speeds, and if you have a crash at high speed and you're not fit, the chances of you getting a big injury is a lot higher. So you do need to be strong to you know, just in case of an accident or whatever, to try and take it as well as you can
Yeah,
possibly.
yeah. So, and you mentioned a couple of times the mental side of it. Do you work with someone, like a mental coach, or someone that can assist you on
Yeah,
that? Or
I had a mental coach for like 3 years when I was super close to F1, when I was in Red Bull.
right?
He was amazing. He was a Finnish guy called Aki Insta.
Well,
Super good. Like, if you guys research this guy, is just impressive.
mm-hmm.
He worked with the rebel fields in where the wars was and stuff, so he could really understand the human mind. And then he obviously focused and became super directed to racing drivers and the racing world. He then got sick with cancer and died like 4 or 5 years ago.
Wow.
And I've done a lot with him. And since him, I didn't pick it up with anyone else. I just have his foundations and the
Right.
basis I learned with him, and I kind of keep working on them. And on the other hand, I have my Portuguese trainer, my physical trainer called Emiliano Ventura. He's been with me since 2011, and obviously he's super good on the physical side, on the recovery side, and all of that. But he's also quite a cool guy mentally, you know. And
So as that double function, let's say.
you can almost see, like, why we're having a bad day and when we're gonna have a bad day, and okay, let's prevent it and this and that. So it's we are not afraid to say this is bad, this is good. Today we didn't drive well, we didn't do a good job to prepare, or this and that. So when the relationship is like that, you know, it's super frankly open and all of that. It's perfect.
So kind of a follow up from the experience you had from the Finnish mental coach. You had now the support.
He also worked with the Finnish mental coach.
Okay.
So the Aki, he had a team
Okay.
of trainers. So he was providing the trainers for Red Bull, And actually, Emiliano, when I joined Red Bull, he joined Red Bull as well. So he worked with Aki as well. So the whole thing was then connected.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's clear. So and then, Antonio, do you have one thing you talk about the foundations from Aki? One thing that you recall often, like a tip or a hack that you think like, yeah, this is something that I've learned from him, or
Yeah, so a lot of the things is like internal health. Like you need to be happy. You cannot live on with frustration. You need to tick a lot of boxes before you get in the car and perform, or if you're a tennis player, if you're a golf player, if you're whatever it is, because otherwise it just won't come out. So if you have any family issues, if you have any friends issues, if you have any girlfriend issues, whatever it is, all of these bases need to be well taken care of. Body pain, mental prep, body prep, whatever it is, all of these little things need to be as aligned and as resolved as possible. Obviously, we're all humans, we all have issues, but I really try and never take grudges with anyone. I don't think I hate anyone in the world. Maybe I like some people more than other, but I don't think I actually have hate towards anyone. So if I have a problem with a family member or a friend, I try and resolve it on the day. With my body, if I'm having a pain, whatever it is, I try and resolve it on the day. So and automatically you wake up happy when things like this, when you have everything in line, and this is a big step towards performing properly.
so to look for that mental stability, let's say, and to avoid accumulate or
Yeah.
or accumulate unsolved situations.